Hi, Bimini.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me today.
How are you doing?
I am good. Slightly jet lagged. Got back from Montreal.
Ooh.
I got back like less than 2 days ago. So I think I'm a bit getting used to British time again.
Mm-hmm. What were you doing?
It's only like 6 hours behind, but I just adjusted to that, and then I come back and I'm like, right, I can't sleep till like 2 a.m.
Busy.
Yeah, but I was DJing out there. It was fun.
Oh, amazing. So this has been like, we're going to start on the DJ stuff. This has been going really well.
It has been going really well, and I love it. I mean, I've always loved it. I used to do it before I was on Drag Race, just not very well. I will say that, just not very well.
You like mastered the craft now.
Yeah, well, I guess like you continue to do so, and I think like it's something that you'll always be working at and improving, but I love it. I've always loved a party. I've always loved bringing a vibe to a party, and I feel like it's like one of the perfect ways to do that to like a big crowd. And I recently just did Brighton Pride, and it was like
fantastic.
A full
with
dance
Mariah.
tent. Yeah, me and Mariah.
Yeah,
we go way back.
Sharing a dressing room.
But it's just fab, just seeing all the gays going mad to my Anastacia remix.
Oh god, yeah. So we were talking about this before, but I'm obsessed with the Anastacia remix. Obviously, grew up on her. Left Outside Alone, just, you know, and like, where did the inspiration to come like to remix this
So
track?
my mum basically, she used to play that album all the time, like all of Anastasia's albums actually. But I grew up like listening to her a lot as well, and I was obsessed as a kid too, and obviously still. But like, she was an icon, style icon. Firstly,
with
like
the glasses,
everything about how she used to dress was like what I was referencing in my early drag days, or thinking I was.
Yeah, what with like I'm thinking, because when I think of her, it's like the jeans.
Yeah, the low
slung jeans. Yeah,
like a kind of belt top, or like a. Then basically, I met her at the Metro Pride Awards.
Wow.
And she was getting like an icon award.
Obviously.
And I remember just chatting to her, and she was like, Bimini, and it's like she knew who I was, which I just thought was insane. And we were like chatting, and then afterwards she messaged me on Instagram. And we were just chatting on there, and I just voice noted her, and I said, can I remix one of your tracks? And she said, yeah. So listen, if you don't ask, you don't get. So that's my
absolutely.
motto.
Oh my god, same. Just the idea of voice noting Anastacia is slightly like,
she voice noted back. But then we've spoken a lot since, and then like the remix happened, and it's like
she loved it.
Yeah, she does love it, and I think it's like because normally she said like everyone wants to remix "I'm Out of Love." But I wanted Left Outside Alone. And I felt like it was a right time for that remix as well, because I feel like with everything that's happening like politically, and like whether it's like politics with like trans people especially, like how they're being kind of ostracized and treated in society by people in power and powerful positions, I felt like it's like that kind of motto, like. Yeah,
that feeling of like isolation or being kind of cut out.
Yeah, but it's an empowering song, and it's
like I'm going to survive regardless of whether you want to shut me out or try to or whatever.
Totally, yeah. So I feel like it was like that was kind of the inspiration for the remix in itself, but also just making it a banging clubs track, because obviously
we need more of those. Honestly, like I'm on a bit of a nostalgia fest at the moment. I keep listening to Tiny Temper. Like,
Pass Out.
Yes,
I love that. Like I performed that a couple of years ago.
Did you?
I love it.
Oh my god, that and Frisky, like they're both really good gym songs, but also just all the time. But I just think that was that kind of mid noughties kind of
it
period.
Was so good.
Yeah, and as obviously like that was before I was a proper critic, but I can imagine back then like journalists would have been like, this is trash, like it's meaningless, blah blah blah. But obviously we grew up, we were like in the clubs, and like I was a student, and that was like the going out song.
Oh, I loved it. It was so fun. And like I said then, I performed Pass Out a couple of years ago, and like done a cover of it. And it's not out anywhere. It was just like a personal thing. But I love that. I think like there was, was it Labyrinth that had like produced it?
Yeah.
They're like
Phenomenal.
doing loads of bits now, I think.
Yeah, well, Tiny's sort of coming back with new music. He was on Love Island not that long ago.
Yes.
I love where they kind of put an artist on there. I know Craig David did one a while ago, and they look so like odd, just like out of place, and you've got like 6 people dancing around them and not particularly well.
I love that. That's,
not that I'm one to judge, but like anyway, but like I just think that kind of like euphoric, just like escapist, but also there is like, as you were saying, like there's a message behind it. It's kind of, I always go back to Robin as like the epitome of like the sad banger kind of thing, or like the club track with a meaning behind it.
Crying in the club.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazing. Should we talk about Celebrity SAS?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So you did so well on the show. Can you tell me like when you got asked to do it and what made you want to do it, firstly?
I got asked to do it, I mean, I swear it's like 3 or 4 weeks before. It's very quick, the turnaround, or the conversation might have been 6 weeks before, maybe.
It's quite a big decision, like for the show that it is, like to give you that little time to think about it.
And to be honest, like usually there's been like conversations with a lot of different shows that I've always actually kind of said no to, or been like not right now. But this one I was kind of like yes, because it's like something that's so out of my comfort zone that I would not normally do ever. Like there's loads of things with it. There's so much nuance with the show and everything, but like I was at a time where I feel like I was like going through a lot of personal changes. Like I was moving managements, I was going through some like personal things in my life, and I think I needed something to focus on. This was a challenge, and I love a challenge, basically. So I just went for it. I was like, probably not going to get asked to go on it again. I feel like it's
so it's like a now or never kind of thing.
Yeah, almost just been like, I probably wouldn't want to do it in a year. So it's like right now it's happening, and I'm like, I kind of do need something, because I think like over the years there's been a lot of like a lot of positivity. So I want to say that firstly, but like also a lot of like down negativity. Like there's been a lot of like, I've gone through a lot of things. There's been a lot of outside noise that have like affected me, and I think it kind of made me go off course slightly about like who I am and what I stand for. And I think this just allowed me to recenter that. Yeah,
absolutely. And because it seems like it's a physical challenge as much as like, obviously, like you're doing all these insane like diving into freezing cold water, and there was a thing with a boat. Yeah. We have to like go under and like hostage rescues and everything. Honestly, I can't get over the number of people that were going in there like lifting the hood off a hostage, being like, no, it's not there, but they're like running away and lobbing the grenade. Yeah. Like, oh, R.I.P. But but also it seemed like it was as much a psychological challenge.
I think more so than anything. I think it's more mental than physical. I think like some people that maybe weren't the most physical, like physically fit, did really well in the show, because I think if you've got that grit and tenacity and the mental drive to keep going, you'll just keep going. Like that's kind of what it is. Like I remember getting like you said about the hostages then, like just doing those things and not realising that we'd passed it in a way. Like I remember me and Colin Ben did that challenge, and I think we were like the only ones that passed it.
It's crazy,
because like we were the only ones that saved everyone. Like, why would you not do that? Like why would you just leave a hostage?
Well, I guess it's in that moment, you know, when you've got like what you're kind of just talking about, like this thing of having noise around you, and you kind of lose sense of like what your task is.
It's true. Like that was a high pressure, and I know it's like TV, and I know people will probably be like, "Oh, it's like fabricated," but it is not. Like it's what you're seeing is actually not as bad as it was.
And there's no stunt person like doing it for you.
No, and like me and Lucy have spoke about it. We're like, I'm pretty sure they've like made it look less than, because we were like, there's things they've missed out. Like there was just a lot of things that I think like made it harder that they didn't show, and I'm like, I think they could have made it way harder. Maybe it needed to be a longer show.
Yeah, you got like a kick out of it now. You got like the adrenaline.
Yeah,
bug.
I mean, it was like now it's out. It's quite wild because like it was 15 months ago, so it feels like a completely different person, and not a different person, but like, well, I've got a new hairline, but like it feels like such a long time ago. So to look back at it, like I've got a lot of fond memories. Like I made really good friendships that like we're in WhatsApp group still now, and we text a lot, like basically daily. So it's nice to have built that. And I think the reason we did was because we got thrown into like something that is quite unique, and we needed to have each other to get through it.
For you personally, I think like you've spoken a little bit about, you know, I think that environment that you're in, and you kind of wanted to prove to people, you know, like defying stereotypes about gender and everything like that. So do you feel like that kind of came through for you? Did you feel like you achieved that?
I hope so. I mean, I feel like I went on there as just myself completely, and also...
Sorry, was there a wink when the hood gets pulled off, or was it because you were like blinking? Because I could have sworn you winked at the sergeant.
I think it was blinking.
Oh, okay. So it looked like a wink.
Yeah,
I
know, and he got it all up in my grill.
Got him all flustered.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I posted it on my Instagram, and people were like, "Oh, hot." Like, right, the gays will say anything's hot.
I thought there was some tension there.
Everyone thought they was reading into it. Maybe there was, but no, it was. There was a lot of like things. I don't know what I was saying before.
Sorry, they're like kind of proving, you know, like about, you know, defying expectations or stereotypes, I guess.
I think like throughout my life, I've always enjoyed a physical challenge anyway. Like I've always like kind of, whether it was dancing, yoga, fitness, like pole dancing is my favourite.
Yeah.
There's always something I've liked. So I like the athleticism there. So going into it, I was like, I know I can probably do the physical challenges. It's whether I can do the mental. But as being a solid member of the LGBTQ plus community, we are very resilient and very strong. We've been through a lot to get to where we are now, you know. And I think as a community, we're really strong. And I think like that is what kind of gets me through that in a way, because there is resilience within our community. And I think I have that as well built in, and I think most queer people do. So I think like for most of us, the mental side would, if you could just really get into it and get over the like sleeping on a camp bed for 2 hours and getting woken up.
I'd be out in 10 seconds. Like,
and the food being shit.
Yeah.
You can get through it all, I think.
There is actually a thing of like, because I've been watching it, the delusion of like watching the challenges and being like, oh, I could totally do that. Like, I think the swimming stuff fine, but yeah, everything else no. I think the heights thing would get me, like, you know, when you're on the wire and you're having to, I mean, also like the upper arm strength, like no, but
I loved those as well.
Yeah?
But I don't have a fear of heights. So I think if you have a fear of heights, it's like my mum was like, I couldn't do that. It's like she's scared of heights, and like that stuff didn't bother me. I feel like the most daunting for me were the aggression ones.
Right. Okay. So can you talk me through those a little bit? Like,
so like the fighting challenges, I just don't. I'm not an aggressive person. Even when it comes to like, obviously, when we speak about like fighting in general, I'm always more of a like, let's talk it out.
Well, I think most people, you know, like haven't actually physically ever thrown a punch at anyone.
On the show?
No, in general, I think,
yeah.
like, you know, like I'd say like, like the vast majority, like I think if you ask anyone, like, have you ever punched someone, it would be like, no.
But what I found was interesting is some conversations we had, which I don't know if like, I don't know why they didn't show them, I don't think, but like, we spoke to a lot of like the guys, and they were saying the challenge that they were most excited about was the physical fighting ones, like the kind of and I was like, that was the least for me. It's like the total opposite. But there was also like really introspective conversations about society, because we spoke about how these boys had like only been brought up to not show emotion. Like the only way they can express emotion when they were upset or anything was through anger, and they wished that they weren't like that. And it was like really poignant, lovely conversations that I wish that they'd shown more of. But like it was interesting to me to hear that, because like, I don't know, as a queer person, I guess growing up, that was the polar opposite to me. Like I'm not a fighter at all. I've got rhythm, so I'm a lover.
You dance your problems away.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what. But like that was like, it kind of reminded me. I think like there was a like. And I know Lucy felt triggered as well, like seeing me go up against Harry in that fighting match. Like Lucy just didn't like to watch it, because it was like,
because the physicality, I think, like the differences and everything, that's daunting.
Well, Harry's 6'2" and I'm not. So it's also like that as well. But I gave as much as I could, and I went rat tail swinging. So
you did brilliantly, and also you came fourth, right, in the whole competition.
Yes.
Which is
I guess it is fourth. Yeah, I did. I just got taken out right at the end, which is gutting.
But for like a lovely reason, right? It was quite.
Well, I think like to be honest, I think you get so wrapped up in that moment and everything that I thought that was the right time to have done it. I was like, like Michaela, who I love, got to know her, and she's such an incredible person. Looked so just cold and just fragile, and then I just blew the cover, which we were meant to do. So basically the story is like, you are told a certain story and you've got to give it in drib drabs, which I thought I'd done, and then apparently it was the wrong time. But I'm glad that I did what I did. I'm glad I went the way I did, because I feel like it felt like the right thing to do for me at the time as well. Like I couldn't have done what they wanted me to do, and like I feel like I'm glad I did. So it was gutting that it was so close. So close. It was like literally like, I think like an hour later they'd finished the thing. Like it was like so close that it was done. And also like it was just,
I think it's
gutting.
for a lovely reason though. I just think like the fact that it was you trying to like save someone else is really sweet.
In my mind I passed. I feel like the only problems that I had really were like the aggression and like that side of things, which like it's not me anyway. I'd be wanting to do peace talks. Let's discuss.
Was there anyone on the show that kind of like surprised you in any way?
I think like, because as the show progresses and you get on longer, it goes on longer, I got really close with everyone towards the end. Like we were quite like a tight-knit group, and I think it's because we knew that we were all in it. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell who was in it and who isn't, you know? Like, some people went in the first hour, you know?
Yeah, that was
But, like,
unfortunate.
yeah, it was,
I think
we
you
were
could
trying
kind
to
of see it
convince Louie
coming.
to stay.
When the hoods were being taken off, I was like, you can kind of immediately see like
Who's
who's
staying,
got
who's going.
the steal, and then maybe.
Yeah, that's it. That was it. The people with the steal. So we got, like, towards the end, it was like me, Troy, Lucy, Michaela, Adam were like the final 5. So we were like, we had a lot longer than everyone. But then Connor Ben as well, like, was there. He had to get taken out, which I think was gutting for him, but probably for the best because he was hurting his shoulder and that's his career, you know.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
they made that decision. But Connor was hilarious, and they don't show as much of how funny he was on the show. Like, it's.
I guess they're trying to present it as like this really gritty kind of brutal challenge.
Which
like,
it is, but I feel like the lightheartedness, people do like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, like your conversation with Ginny Lemon on Drag Race is still one of my favourite moments on that show, because I think it was just like a lovely moment of insight. And obviously, you know, like that, people love the show for so many different reasons, but that for me, it just like, it was such a like moment of vulnerability, and I think you don't necessarily always see that on the show.
I think it's real, so I think like that's what connects with people. It's funny, like you said about that conversation, because the conversation around like gender and like non-binary identity, I like saw a comment or something on one of my posts the other day about SAS, and they were like, "Oh, I think Bimini identifies as he, him now. Like, I don't think they're non-binary. He's non-binary anymore."
What, by didn't being on the show?
I don't know. I think because I don't know. I feel like what people don't understand is non-binary isn't an aesthetic. Like, non-binary is way deeper than that. It's like within the person, and you don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to have a mullet. You don't have to like be. Do you know? Like, I feel like it was a very reductive comment to make. I still identify as gender non-conforming. Whether non-binary is the word, because I feel like that become a third category of gender, if you know what I mean. And it's almost a rejection of, you know. And I feel like you don't have to look a certain way. We've created this idea of gender and the rigid roles, and to deconstruct that and just reject it is a powerful thing to do. You don't have to look a certain way. So it annoyed me a bit when I saw that, and I was like, I'm not going to even answer the comment, but like I just think it's a very reductive comment for someone in the community to make, just because
agree.
I was like, because I went on a show like that, or because like right now I've got a bit of facial hair. It doesn't, if you don't understand what that is, it's masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
It's like the both of, like, it's just not one or the other, so.
Yeah, well, I love like this kind of like barefaced thing you've got at the moment, because, and the thing is, like, you love Pamela Anderson, right? Like, this is one of your like early inspirations. And when I look at you, I kind of think of that look, like that she's doing at the moment, which is beautiful. It's just like completely bare. Like, you know, you can just see all your features and everything. And like, you know, I mean, obviously every look you do is great, but
I love that she's doing that though, because I feel like it's such a powerful thing for her to do as well, because as someone that was like so identifiable with like the sex symbol aesthetic and the way she looks, but she had so much more than that. Like, she's
so fucking smart.
So smart, honestly. So lovely. Like, it's got so much to give as like as a human. Can you remember when she was like very like Julian Assange? Free Julian Assange. She's like very that. Like, she's very political. She really gets involved. Like, she's quite a advocate for
when
a
she's
lot
got
of
this
human
like
rights.
and she's got this acting career, kind of like smashing it. You know,
The
apparently like Liam Neeson, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of here for it. But like, I love that she's repping the bare face on the red carpets. I'm like, go for it, girl.
Just every time I see it, kind of looks amazing. Would not try myself.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not there yet.
Don't
on the red
want to scare the
carpet.
children. But yeah, what else are you working on at the moment?
So I've got a lot of DJ gigs. I've been working on a lot of exciting stuff, actually. I've got like a song coming out called Sexy Boy,
Love it.
Which is going to be featuring Icona Pop, which is fab.
Wow.
Fab little moment.
Amazing.
And that should be coming out very soon. I mean, it's been pushed back once or twice, as it always does with this kind of thing, but we're getting there. And yeah, lots of cool things. Like, I've been working on new music. I've been working on like being in the studio a lot, working on like production side of things.
Cool.
And yeah, going performing a lot more.
Yeah, because your early single 2021 was it God Save the Queen?
God Save This Queen.
Queen. That was obviously like so, I feel like, inspired by your like punk influences, like very like Sex Pistols, Vivienne Westwood kind of vibe. Loved it. And then yeah, like more recently you seem to have been going for like down the more, as we were discussing, like club route.
Yeah.
Bangers. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. This year's been a lot about bangers, and the next song that I'm releasing is also a banger. But I have definitely, the new music that I've been making has definitely retouched on those punk roots. And I think like the music that inspired me is like, I call it electro cunt punk.
Love it. Is that like, do you feel like this is your genre that you're kind
I
of
feel like it's
creating?
a genre that I'm like, it marries together. It feels like those influences have come together, and it's like, I like cunty music, but then it's like, I guess it's like a cunty Johnny Rotten meets Keith Flint.
Maybe like Charlie XCX thrown in.
Bit of Charlie, yeah, a bit like sassy and bratty. We love that. But yeah, no, I'm like excited by what I've been creating, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get this song "Sexy Boy" out. It samples Air.
Nice.
Like Sexy Boy.
I was gonna. So like when you said the title, I was like, I immediately obviously thought of that. And
yeah, good. Well, that's it samples
like
that. We got it cleared, which is amazing because it's such a banger.
They're also your fans as well. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. And then, so what is this going to be going towards? Like an album? Do you think? Like,
so this won't
TBC?
be going towards an album. This will just be like a single. But I don't know. I feel like I'm refocused on music, and I've refocused on a lot of like what I'm creating. So I'm excited for people to hear that, and I'm excited for people to reconnect with those roots, basically.
Yeah. Can we talk about, like, recently you announced that you'd had a diagnosis of ADHD. So, like, this must have been quite a big thing for you.
It was, but also not, because I kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah? Okay.
But, like, it was, like, something that I think... Basically, when I had therapy a few years ago, it was, like, something that was brought to the table, and I just thought, like... Oh, I don't think I do have it. But then actually learning more about it, because I think it became a lot more prominent on social media and
100%.
TikTok and like people talking about neurodivergence. And I started looking into it, and I thought like, oh, I do have a lot of those traits. And like there are a lot of like similarities and characteristics from people's stories that are telling me or I'm reading about. And I look back at childhood as well and how I was then. I think I just learned I was good at masking. So I... bit the bullet basically and went for it. Went for one of the...
Is it quite hard to like get an actual test?
It is hard to get, and there's a long wait. And I actually haven't got the medication yet, which I need to get.
Okay.
I mean, it's such an ADHD thing to say, but like I basically got the diagnosis back in like February or March. And yeah, the doctor, they have to like really speak to family members and friends that have known you for a long time. And
it's a thorough process.
Yeah, it's a really thorough one. And like he spoke to me for like 4 hours, which is a long time to be like spoken about.
Is that quite emotional? Like,
it's quite emotional.
You have to trawl through quite a few things.
Yeah, and you go through everything. You go through like then he said the diagnosis came through, and it was like you've got ADHD, but they also screened me. I think this is quite standard, and I also think like I wouldn't necessarily say maybe I do have this, but they screened me for autism, which. It just in general they do for people with ADHD, and I scored 6 out of 10, which they say people that score 6 out of 10, 6 or higher out of 10, they would recommend maybe going for an autism screening. But I think there's similarities within characteristics of ADHD and autism, and I think maybe it's a spectrum and neurodivergence. But I'm glad I've got the diagnosis. It's allowed me to like understand myself more and know like the good qualities of it and the bad qualities, and like I'm trying to like understand how to manage it. But I definitely want to get medicated. I think want to try it and see if it helps. My worry for that is obviously, and I've read a lot about it, and people say it doesn't necessarily, other people say it does, but I wouldn't want it to like take away creativity or anything. So I feel like ADHD can really help with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I can,
or just with the process, I guess, of when you're creating, like how you go about it,
and the creativity and what comes. And I think it can come in like flurries, and it's not linear. But that's the beauty of it. I think it's like you can be inspired by someone walking down the road and then have all these ideas and like need to get into it. So I'd like worry that would. I just don't want to walk around like a zombie. That
makes sense. It's interesting you said like you've been seeing the stuff on social media, because I think there's a bit of a debate about this. You know, like a lot of self-diagnosing happens on TikTok. I sort of fell down a bit of like a wormhole of like, you know, thinking, and you know, who knows, maybe I do. Don't particularly feel the need to look into it right now, but because obviously you're reading like, you know, or like watching these people say like, you know, if you have this, and this, these are like symptoms of ADHD. But obviously they could also be symptoms of other stuff. Like sometimes it's just if you're a bit disorganized or something. Yeah. And I feel like there's like some frustration maybe from certain like critics of it saying, you know, like not necessarily sure if self-diagnosis is the way to go, or like the people feeling like this need to kind of like stamp a label on every kind of aspect of their behaviour. I
feel like there can be a danger to self-diagnosis, because if you believe and you're not, then that could be a hindrance to you, and also you seeking any kind of help. I think like the definite best way, and it's really hard in the UK because mental health, I guess it comes under that, and like it's really difficult to get those diagnoses, really difficult to get in the room for them or get a meeting. I think the waiting list could be like 2 years. Like it's a long time, and it's like if you've got ADHD and someone says 2 years waiting list, there's no way you're going to do it.
Whereas if you see someone on TikTok saying like, I've got ADHD, these are my symptoms, and you're like, oh, that's what I have, that checks out.
It took me so long. It took me so long to do because like, and again, to follow up and get the medication, because there's a lot of different steps to it that you have to do, and you have to like fill this in and you have to get this, and it's like, okay, I'll get round to it, but like I've got a million other things going on as well. So it's like getting that, but like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad I do it. I think there's a beauty to it. So it's about harnessing that as well, you know?
Yeah. You're saying like some of your behaviours when you were a kid like kind of made sense. So what were you like as a child?
I would like literally go for, my mum would take me like grocery shopping, for example, and I would just be doing like cartwheels everywhere and just being like so annoying and running around different aisles. I would have hated me as a kid, like walking around. Like I did like 13 cartwheels like down the aisle. And just like Tesco's in Great Yarmouth, and my mum's just like ignoring me because it's like, oh, here we go again.
Just like lost the will to try at this point.
And in school I was just like, I wasn't a naughty kid, so I think that's why I didn't really.
You said masking, like you maybe like
masking, but it was also like because a lot of the naughty kids that had ADHD, but it was very like, I guess like an extreme, and I guess you don't know about their behaviour and their family history and what's going on at home, but like these kids were like the real naughty ones that would like throw things at the teacher, and like I never did that because I didn't like to be told off. So like that never happened, but I was so distracted and chatty all the time, and like that would. And the only times that like you'd be able to really kind of quieten me was like through something like dance or drama or like English. I really enjoyed English, like reading.
Well, because you were initially training as a journalist, right?
I did, yeah. Studied journalism, yeah. So I think like those things.
The relief of, I'm guessing that you didn't go down that path.
Well, yeah, but I've been writing a few articles now and then. I quite enjoy.
No, you're
like,
a lovely writer. I think you've written some stuff for us before. It's great. Yeah,
I like flexing the muscle now and then. Yeah. But it's definitely something that I really enjoy is writing. So.
Well, you did your book as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which is great. So is there any like inclination of writing something new at the moment?
I mean, I would love to write another book. I'm not there right now, maybe soon, but like I would love to. I feel like I'd like to do it without any pressure because like there was pressure then because
like deadlines and stuff.
Deadlines like they're like quite quick deadlines considering I'm like spilling my heart out about my life. And like I worked with Sean Fay who did a lot of like kind of worked with me on like a lot of queer history research, but the bulk of everything was written by me. So Sean Fay, who's an incredible writer and activist, she just basically went through it and was like, I'm so glad that you've written this because like she had a lot on as well. So I think because they got someone, I think that happens with a lot of people. They get another person to help, but I'm too stubborn to not write it myself.
Well, yeah, it's like your voice, isn't it? So it's pretty important. And it was your first one. I think also, as you said, it was like a lot of personal history, I think, in there. So
I feel like maybe like Katie Price, was she on like book number 8 or something? And she just has a ghostwriter. She's like, yeah, obviously someone's written it.
Yeah, just kind of envisage her like reclining on a chaise longue, just sort of dictating to someone like.
I love that. I love that.
But yeah, fair play if it works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What pop culture are you loving at the moment?
What pop culture am I loving at the moment? Well, I feel like there's a lot going on around the world. Like we see so much like negativity. So I think any time you see a bit of good pop culture is quite nice to get sucked into that. Obviously Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson right now. Like I'm here for that. Joanna Lumley in Wednesday. Like I'm excited to see that. And
oh god, I haven't started watching the new season.
I
yet,
haven't
but
either.
I love the first.
But Joanna Lumley is like an icon. So we love. What else has been going on? Obviously, there's the Ibiza Final Boss that I put the.
Okay, so yeah, I'm really upset that that's not real. Like, again, we were talking about AI before this, and I'm just such a sucker. Like, I just can't tell anymore. But I saw that on your Instagram. Immediately, it was like, this is amazing. This like kind of triple threat of like cross culture. Like you, Anastacia, Ibiza Final Boss, who I only just learned about like last week.
I don't know what's going on in pop culture, but in TikTok, you can just become something overnight, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
What do we think of the look? Can I get your take on this, please?
The look just reminds me of like 2012 back in Norwich, if I'm honest, like Prince of Wales Road, like getting thrown out of all the clubs. Like pretty sure I would have had similar hair to that, to be honest. No. Like, not gonna lie, like comb over like in
the
a
Lego
way.
kind of bowl cut.
Yeah. But I think it's a look.
I do like. I mean, that's one of the things I do like about I'm in a very like love-hate relationship with social media at the moment. But that is one of the things I kind of like, and I'm just like, please, nothing come along and ruin it.
It's tricky with social media because I get what you
Yeah.
mean. Like, I think it's like something, especially in our industry and what we do, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like one day it's going to get turned off, or at least
There'll be like a mass rejection of like,
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it'll be cooler not to have it one day.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that really scares me at the moment is the kind of the weird, it's like ingrained suddenly in society where like, well, certain people I think on the apps think they need to like whip out their phone the second something happens. That instinct. I mean, because I'm shit at this. Like, I'm kind of more like boomer than millennial in that sense, because I think I just forget to film. It's like shit journalism, shit my job. But like everything is content vibe. I find that exhausting.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like telling me if I'm told I have to do content.
Right. Like sometimes you just want to go for dinner. Like you don't need to take pictures of your food all the time.
Yeah.
But on the other end of the spectrum, I think of these people that, like they almost incite incidents so then they can whip out the phone and like, whether it's like an argument with someone working in customer service or, like someone's overhearing. This is the one that really freaks me out, I think, is like someone's overhearing a person, maybe they're like bragging about cheating on their partner or whatever. And they're like, oh, I need to film this and I'm going to like incite everyone to kind of like track them down and, expose them. And just, I find it really uncomfortable.
It's really naughty, and I think like it's just what is the term that we're using now? Rage baiting. Mm-hmm. It's just rage baiting, isn't it?
Yeah, and just the like weird. It's like also you see like on dating apps and stuff, like people will quite happily share like a screenshot of someone on a dating app, and like yes, maybe they've got like a cheesy profile, like bio, description, whatever. But I don't know. It's just
Are we nice as humans? Are humans nice in general?
Like maybe we're not anymore.
This is what I mean. Like, so I don't know if we are.
Yeah.
Like, I think like everyone's either looking for a gotcha moment or everyone's like looking to bring someone down. Whether it's like cancel culture, I think is really, really problematic. Like some people, yes, deserve massively, but like other people that have made a mistake, their lives get ruined. Like you've got to think about people's mental health, and like there is someone at the other end of the phone that like you're saying all this stuff to, and like ganging up and like snowballing all of this just because someone might have like said something negative, or like if they've learned from it and they apologize and like it's not like affected someone so much or affected a group of people so much that like they can't go back from that. Like I think we need to like be a lot more like nuanced with things like that.
I can't remember who said it. It was a while ago, but someone basically said it's accountability culture. Back when like like the kind of right were raging about cancel culture and everyone getting cancelled and blah, when it felt more of a sort of thing. It was accountability culture. So it's kind of like yes, if you're being racist or transphobic or homophobic or whatever, like you deserve to be called out, and hopefully educated in the process, right? I mean, but I think there's that, and then like there's this thing of being human and being fallible, and like and things also that should be private. Like if you whatever, I don't really care if you're having an affair. That's your business. Hopefully you get busted and whatever.
Coldplay.
But like, so that's an example. So I was talking with Tim Minchin on the podcast a while ago about this. He hates that whole thing. Because I sort of did say, I think slightly if you're going to a stadium full of 80,000 people where there is a Jumbotron, it's not the smartest thing in the world. No, but do they deserve to get, track down like your partners and kids and
like fuzz you on LinkedIn, fuzz your
calling,
work, everything.
Calling for you to get fired and like life ruined and everything, and it's just
that's a bit much. I feel like the internet, like, come on.
It's what goes back to what you were saying. Like, just are we nice as people anymore? Like, where's the empathy?
Exactly. Where's the empathy? Where's the understanding?
And also, just do you need to comment on it? Really? Like, do you have to kind of I get the thing of like the internet at the time, and it's fun. Like, and people are reenacting it on other jumbotrons, and like, But I think when you get back to it and remember, like, actually, there's two people. There's more than two people involved.
I mean, there's some people we know should be cancelled forever, but if you make a mistake, I feel like it's a tricky one to navigate. But I think like the whole conversation around wokeness as well. Like, I'd rather be woke. If you're going to use it in a negative way, just because you're trying to like fight for injustices in society or like social injustice or like trying to be like, hang on, this isn't okay and this isn't right. If that means being woke, then I'd rather be awake.
Yeah. You know Shakar?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was, we did an interview with her a few months ago, and she said something interesting, which is that she's kind of not like given up or anything, but she's just less concerned about identity politics as a thing.
Yeah.
Because she feels like this whole kind of focus on you know, like when you see on fucking This Morning or whatever, like arguing about, you know, should James Bond be a woman or a black or gay or whatever, and it's like, really? Like, this is what, like, national television is.
That's what they focus on. It's so reductive. I feel like it's so aggressive, and it's so, like, it's just like drivel.
Yeah.
It's drivel at this point.
It does make you think, like, you know, this is how the right have sort of.
And it's like the shock factor of it. It's like, oh, that's going to outrage someone at home. Oh, James Bond should never be a woman.
It goes back
it's
to
Jamie Bond now. Like, it's just ridiculous.
You said it, rage bait. And it's just the thing, and maybe like that's what content seems to be.
And it's like when
these
you know
days.
what's going on in the world right now, and like there's so many things that people should be speaking about, and the way things that news outlets should be reporting on in a fair way, and then they focus on things like that. I think it's just outrageous. It's not doing the job properly.
I think we're all just tired.
I think we're all fatigued. We've got compassion fatigue. We've just got general fatigue.
Yeah.
Everyone's knackered.
What do you do for self-care? How do you like switch off?
I need to go back into like exercising a lot more because that's my main focus. July was quite a crazy busy month where I feel like I've just like
doing all your DJ sets everywhere.
Yeah, like traveling a lot, which I love to travel, but I think like that could be. So I think like I tried to have moments of like, well, either going to a club. I think that's a relaxing for me, to be honest. Go out, hear music, or like go for like a nice walk, like near where I live. Like I live like near. Beautiful marsh, wetlands. So like go for a walk near that, and I think like there's a lot of times, and then also actually Real Housewives that quiets my mind. Like no joke, I love it.
I think I watched Beverly Hills first season, and then I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Really? Oh, I see. I'm an avid, like, I'm an old school. I watched it in 2008 when it first came out.
Right. I think maybe that's what you need to have been, like, a long-term fan.
I was watching it when it was trash. Like, everyone's like, this is trash. No one's, like, likes reality TV. And I was, like, such a avid reality TV fan. In, like, behind the scenes. Like,
that's what we were saying before. Like, I think I'm not really a reality TV person, but Celebrity SAS, I was like, I don't know why I can get into that.
I'm the person on TikTok that's like, this is a social experiment, and this this is literally, I call it better than Shakespeare, I think so.
Actually, do you know what? I lie. Selling Sunset.
Selling Sunset's camp.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like,
that feels a bit more rehearsed, though. Like, I feel like, I think
I mean,
so.
now it does. I think when it first started, I just think there were people on there that you're like, you're actually a cunt in real life.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing on especially the early seasons of The Housewives, they were unhinged.
Yeah.
And like some of the topics that got brought up, like I'm like, girl, that is a lot of like really dark, traumatic things in the earlier seasons of Beverly Hills.
Well, this is when I was watching it, and some of the stuff I can't remember anyone's name, but like between the two sisters.
Yeah,
and, like,
Kim and Kyle.
Yeah, there's like a lot of clearly like issues going on.
Issues, and like those issues don't get resolved.
No.
I'll tell you, we're 14 seasons on. But like, then I just think the science of it and the social, like the hierarchy of it all is like power, sex, greed, money. Like it's so
everything.
It's Shakespeare. Shakespeare.
Yeah, I love it. Amazing. This has been great. Thank you so much for coming on and having a chat. So when's your single out?
I don't have a date yet, but it should be very soon. So hopefully,
We'll keep an ear out.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.